welcome to another episode of Beer for Breakfast ABV. I am Danielle from the morning show on 91X. As always, I have my beer drinking partner in crime with me, Paul Segura, brewmaster of Carl Strauss. What's up, dude?
Cheers.
Good to see you. Today's episode is all about the San Diego Brewers Guild. We have Virginia, vice president. We also have Chris, the president of the guild. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Welcome.
Look, man, times are super crazy, and the guild has always been really good about keeping the craft beer community together and putting out the information to the public on how we can continue to support craft beer, especially in this really weird age of Rona when small independent beer needs us more than ever. So that's why I have Chris and Virginia. Wait, is that the brewmaster of Second Chance behind you,
Virginia? Yeah, he clearly doesn't have enough brewing to do.
Hi, Marty.
Good to see you, Marty. Well, the very first beer that we're drinking comes from Second Chance Beer Company, the Hazy IPA. What is this, Virginia?
This is our Lady Liberty Hazy IPA, which is not surprisingly our release for the July 4th holiday, with original art by Monica Diaz.
I dig the artwork on it.
Yeah. If you haven't seen our truck out and about, we have a distro wrap that has this art on the back and says Second Chance for All.
Very cool.
That's really cool.
It's got all the specs on the back, 7.2 ABV, 22 IBUs.
Yeah. And I was just lamenting with our... Yeah, we've got Citra in here. We've got some Cryo, Idaho 7, and then an experimental hop as well. So basically big juice bombs, grapefruit and passion fruit. And I was laughing with one of our sales guys, Alex Craig, the other day because we were in the cold box, and I was like, did you ever think you would be standing in our cold box and see more hazy limited releases than any other style?
That's awesome.
Haze is the craze.
And it's also the constant growing and evolution of any brewery, and I dig it. I also have to commend you guys on your cans, not only because the artwork is always so awesome, but just all of the information on the cans. You have what the hop varietal is. You have what taste you're getting out of it, what pairs the best with it. And I think that as you continue to move your way through your craft beer, these are great things to know of why I like something, and you have all the information right there. So thank you, Second Chance.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What's kind of tricky to do too is like usually the artwork for the cans are being printed at the time the beer's being brewed, and so it's often tricky figuring out which descriptors to put on the can to tell people what the beer's going to taste like. But you guys nailed it. I mean, I get that Cascade and almost like a Centennial flavor, which is kind of old school grapefruit and pine, but I also get a lot of that passion fruit. And I'm not sure which hop variety that's coming from, but you guys nailed it without even like having a finished beer to taste, which is kind of tricky.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort among our brew team, and then we've got a couple team members now, Brandon Montgomery and Andy Richards, who are also BJCP certified, and so we have them write descriptions and do pairings for us sometime as well.
Nicely done.
Virginia, I know that it seems like every day the rules are changing with the age of Rona that we're in. As of right now, the second week of July, what is the status of Second Chance Beer Company?
So we are open for to-go beer this week until Thursday, when we will finally be able to take over some of our parking lot. And be able to serve pints on site with a meal purchase. So we'll be doing that all weekend. And then beginning next week, we're just going to leave that parking lot seating space out there designated. So 7 days a week from there on out, at least for the next 3 weeks, you can come here and enjoy a beer while sitting outside at Second Chance Beer Company in Carmel Mountain. And then our patio has always been there in North Park.
And Chris, you work over at Booze Brothers, and we're going to get into Owl Farm beer next. But what's going on over at Booze Brothers in Vista? What's your guys' plan? How have things been going for you guys?
Things have been pretty good. I mean, thankfully, packaged product has kept us alive through this whole thing. And the last month, we saw an appropriate amount of support. We were busy enough where we were doing some decent numbers, but nothing too crazy where we had to have people wait in line for a while out front and keep everyone social distanced. Thankfully, we have a patio, the back patio at our spot, and we actually have our private event space. Hey, that's a good one. We have our private event space on the other side of the building, which has a back patio. The area in between our two patios is normally reserved for production, storage, kegs. So we're going to be opening up all of that area. And we partnered up with Mexico City Cuisine, and they're going to serve food on any of the days that we're going to be open. And we'll have a larger patio than normal, and we'll see how it goes. We're going to start it out with Thursday, Friday, Saturdays first, and then grow from there, and then do to-go beer like always.
As you guys are talking to the other breweries, what are you seeing the biggest struggle that everyone's going through right now?
Just the frequency of the changes, the incoherency of them, the irrationality of them, the fact that sometimes the state is not consistent with the county, which is not consistent from what we're hearing locally. And so, as a business owner, we're trying to keep our businesses open as well as do all of the things that we otherwise have to do pre-COVID. And it's just very daunting and exhausting, quite frankly. Chris and I being on the guild board, we're at the front lines, if you will. Everyone wants to be safe, but I think that there's a lot of approaches that can be more effective.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest problems too is with the fluid opening, closing, you put beer in kegs, you put beer in cans, and then when you are able to open up, what if all your beer is in cans, or what if you have everything in draft for a while because you're trying to service accounts, and then flip-flop, and the package model is really difficult for someone who's going back and forth.
That's a really good point. Carl Strauss has been dealing pretty hard with that as well, just trying to keep from running out of the packaged beer and still having a little bit of draft beer, even though that's been, largely, absent. But I applaud you guys on behalf of the brewing community for trying to, take that ever-changing information and, translate it, because sometimes it's a little bit cryptic the way it comes out as well.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that we're doing right now, and we're going to go right back into it. We did it in the beginning, but when everything got shut down, we had all the beer in the tanks that we weren't intending to ever put in cans. We started filling blank cans, and then we were hand sticker labeling every single can.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's a pain in the ass, but you're going to do whatever you have to do to kind of stick around, right? And so normally we do sleeve cans, and we don't want to go invest on an inline labeler for something that we don't intend to do in the future. So we'll just kind of put stickers on cans like we're in 6th grade.
Right. So have you guys also had issues with, like, your HR departments, getting, that's you, coming up with like new protocols, like, COVID protocols for your employees to make sure they're working in a safe environment and maintaining distance and doing all the things they need to be doing to stay safe and COVID free?
Yeah.
That's also
hard.
I
mean, employment in HR is my specialty. So like at the outset, we developed a whole safety first, drink second program. And so we have massive checklists and training materials and access to documents as they come out. And I just think it's incredibly overwhelming as a team member who's not like following this information all the time. Even when we post stuff, it's like, okay, what are our hours today? What can we do today? What can we not do today? So you can only imagine if you take that to the guest perspective, they want to come out and support us. They just don't know what they can and can't do.
So what is the simplest way to support?
Oh, to support us, yeah.
Get beer to
Yeah,
go?
I would say, yeah, you absolutely can get beer to go from almost, I think, every brewery in San Diego right now, even if it's, you know, only a growler fill or crowler fill. I think most breweries I know are doing that. And the other thing I would say is a lot of us are going to have outdoor spaces, which is like the next 3 weeks what we can do. And so if you're unsure, call the brewery in advance. But otherwise, please come out. Like, it's super safe. Everything is, well, 6 feet apart, if not more. All of our team members wear masks and gloves the whole time, in addition to sanitizing and washing their hands between every guest. So my experience has been that we're probably one of the safest businesses that I've visited since COVID.
Yeah.
I would totally agree with you, and I would also like to give it up to the guild. If you go to sdbeer.com, at the very top of the website is the COVID-19 update, and I would also like to give a big shout out to Paige. Paige has been on top of everything. If any question I have ever had, she's on it. She is in conversation with the county, with the state, just trying to make sure that everybody knows what to do. So cheers to Paige for really helping everybody out and like keeping on top of it. She is awesome.
Paige
Yeah.
McRae, you're a rock star.
So back to the beer.
Beer.
What is this? This is special.
Yeah, so if anyone's not aware, Booze Brothers started a secondary brand about 2.5 years ago. It's called Owl Farm Unique Fermentations. And that's where we do a lot of fruit-forward beer, kettle sour, cocktail-inspired beer, just anything that's kind of deemed weird. And this is our Mango Tajin Gose. So we originally brewed a watermelon Tajin Gose last year. A lot of success with that, and we're actually rebrewing that tomorrow. And then we came out with the Mango Tajin Gose a couple months later. We released the Mango Tajin on our 6-year anniversary. Was probably the best-selling beer we've ever brewed. So when COVID kind of came into play and we knew we were going to have to focus on packaged products, we were like, let's bring back some of the great sellers that we've had, especially because we already had the artwork created and we just had to send it to the printer. That was one thing that we've gone through. We've gone through more packaged product than ever, which is nice that we've had something keep us alive, but it was almost harder to keep up with beer production throughout all of this, just because somebody might come in and have a pint or two in the tasting room, but if they come in and get 2 4-packs, they're leaving with 8 pints. So we just started going through packaged products on top of distribution faster than ever. So, yeah, Owl Farm Mango Tajin Gose, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Mango, Tajin, coriander, wheat, and pretty sessionable. It's a perfect summer beer.
I'm really annoyed with myself that I didn't give my glass like a little like Tajin rim or chamoy rim, because that would just be the thing that would just be the cherry on top.
Yeah, that's the big Instagram tag. Whenever we sell the Tajin beer, you just see the decked out glassware and it looks extra good.
This is as advertised, man. Everything that you say is in there, and it's nicely integrated. All the flavors are kind of, complementary of each other.
Yeah. Well, what was funny when we first started talking about doing it, one of us was at a barbecue and somebody was putting Tajin on a watermelon. They're like, we should do this as a beer. And we've always been pretty against like spicy hot beer. No offense to anyone who does them, but the Tajin just has like a nice kick rather than an actual spice. And with Gose always using salt, it was an easy replacement. Use Tajin instead of salt, and it's kind of perfect for what we're doing.
At 5.7, it's a little hefty for a Gose, though, too.
Just a little bit. The watermelon.
But it still has a ton of drinkability, and each sip leaves you wanting another sip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's super crushable. Or as we used to say, gillable.
Yeah, I am impressed. And this is one of those beers, once again, I probably wouldn't have just ordered on my own and would have been kicking myself because this beer is awesome.
Yeah.
Well done.
We'll keep it going for a bit. So.
And I'm definitely going to have Booze Brothers on Beer for Breakfast in the very near future because it's been far too long since you guys have been on, and you guys are doing great stuff up there in Vista.
Yeah. Paul's drinking Spanish Caravan, right?
Try this Guava Blonde, man, the Spanish Caravan.
We come out that one every June. It's like our summer release. Galaxy hops.
You guys probably crushed it with that beer.
Yeah, it's a big one for us.
Awesome. Well, Chris, president of the San Diego Brewers Guild, Virginia, vice president of the San Diego Brewers Guild, thank you so much for joining Paul and I for Beer for Breakfast, ABV. Reminder out there, the best way to keep up with what's going on with craft beer in San Diego is at sdbeer.com. Also, download the app.
Download the app.
Great information. Take SD Beer with you in your pockets. And look, these are small independent businesses, and they need us now more than ever. So when you're out there, swing by, pick up a 4-pack, pick up a growler, get some growler fills, whatever we can do so that we are all in this together. And we come out of this able to go back to our favorite establishments and raise a pint with each other. So with that, before I get too emotional about it, cheers to independently owned craft beer and radio in San Diego.
Thank you guys for all the hard work you're doing on behalf of the craft beer industry.
Thank you guys.
91X.